In order to have stillness, there needs to be order in one's spirit. The most common meaning of stillness is the notion of idleness. But it is possible to be idle, yet have no peace. Positive stillness is not validated by how idle one is, but the balance in one's spirit. When I think of stillness, there are a few words I ponder on, such as the mind, to abate, to concentrate, to be grateful, and to have peace. The mind is paramount when it comes to being still. If our mind is in chaos, it will be hard to focus. There are many evils in this world that are silent, but in their silence, they plot on what evil they can commit next. Which is why we need to focus our mind on healthy, positive imagery to nurture the fruit of stillness. We see through our eyes but decode through our minds. The color red can mean different things depending on how the mind decodes it. One person might see red and think of sweet red roses. But another might see it and gets reminded of an unpleasant experience. Notice it isn't the color that is speaking. It is the mind that perceives it, that gives it intrinsic meaning. Stillness in our minds needs to be intentional, which means we need to know what we are filling ourselves with on a daily basis. The word abate doesn't get thrown around as much these days, but it is still relevant to our message. The word abate means something that becomes less intense or widespread. The key word is intensity. When the waves were abated at the command of Jesus Christ, he did not remove the ability for the waves to be intense again, but he did reduce their intensity in that moment. Sometimes in life, our fears can create problems that were never meant to be there, which invites negative intensity. Planning ahead is good, but in order to create tranquility, we need to know what can be solved in the moment and what needs planning ahead. When we can divide these scenarios, we will find that there will be less things to worry about in the moment. Intensity can be a high degree of any emotion, whether positive or negative. But let's be real, life can cause us to have a high degree of uncertainty at times, which can cause us to feel flustered and intense. But there is a technique that I use on a regular basis that I would like to share with you that keeps my mind in balance. Meditation. Meditation doesn't guarantee life will be faultless, but it makes sure the right environment is created within our minds to settle the rough waves that may come in. Meditation is like having an antivirus on your computer. Just because the antivirus is there, you still have the ability to go on a website that can bring harm. Similarly, meditation doesn't stop us from thinking incorrectly, neither does it freeze our ability to make right or wrong choices. But it brings a balance for times of intensity. Meditation is the technique that I use. Concentration. Concentration is the ability to divide and magnify points of focus. In order to be still, it requires us to concentrate. Why? Because stillness requires us to be absent from chaos. We can't mentally be in two places at once. Sometimes I find people are not at peace because they have the whole world in one place, their mind. Our minds were not created to have many activities happening all at once uncontrollably. Let me take this moment to be transparent with you. juggling many hats of being a husband, a father, a minister, having a job, working on my personal career journey, and also focusing on my walk with Jesus Christ, along with the pressures of life that try to throw me off, can make me feel extremely stretched at times. Scheduling, however, has made all of these responsibilities manageable. I will create a video showing exactly how I schedule my time, but let's stick on the subject: concentration. Scheduling is healthy for concentration because instead of trying to figure out everything in one mental place, it allows us to spread it all out in a diary and designate activities in slots of time, thus making it more easy to digest and foresee how things can potentially play out. A lot of the time, it is how things look that can affect our concentration or the ability to digest. How things look can create a false reality in our minds, which causes us to magnify things bigger than they actually are. Scheduling solves exactly this. It changes that big pile of activity that looks like it will never lessen and puts it in digestible moments of time that is more easier to break down. Scheduling is the key to have a concentration that magnifies stillness, even in a busy environment. Gratitude relies on stillness. In order to be grateful, we need to collect memories and realize which memories need to be celebrated. If we collect memories in a rush, we may miss a particular memory that requires the biggest amount of gratitude. In order for us to squeeze the juice of life out of peace, we may need to do this in another video, as peace is so vast in its meaning. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you found this helpful. Peace.